breaking news. Wendy's, the pre-1970s Germany of the fast food industry, declares war once again, but this time on itself. In case any of you don't know what Wendy's is, I've actually whipped up a little thing explaining what it is right here. Okay, just so we're all on the same page before I continue further. It was founded in 1969. It's actually the third largest burger fast food chain behind Burger King, which is in second place, and McDonald's, which is in first place. They have over 6,000 locations, nearing 7,000. Their signature is the square patty as opposed to the round patty like their bigger competitors. You know, they got to stand out somehow. That's how they decide to do it, right? Wendy's, always from the beginning, has tried to differentiate itself from the competition. The competition really being nobody except for Burger King and McDonald's. Wendy's is always the one playing catch-up, even though it's arguably the most innovative of the three, you know. Like I said, they don't have a signature sandwich, which McDonald's and Burger King both do. You know, they have the Big Mac and they have the Whopper. What does Wendy's have? They don't have one. They don't have any, you know. A lot of people actually know Wendy's for meals that are not burgers, you know. A lot of people know them for their Frosties or their salads, you know. You don't see nearly as many people going to McDonald's and ordering a salad as you do at Wendy's. They push non-burger items a little bit harder, maybe, than others. Than their other. When I say others, I just mean the big two. Now, just like the World War I, Wendy's was tired of being small and was tired of being kind of the loser of the block, you know, the one that was made fun of, weak, seen as less than the others. So, just similar to Germany in World War I, they decided, you know what, we're going to do some aggressive expansion. We're gonna take what we want, and we're not gonna give anything back, and we're not gonna say sorry for it. Okay, so in 2015, Wendy's declared war on the big two, and they decided they were going to release the 4 for $4 meal. Okay, a lot of you know the 4 for $4 as what you go to Wendy's for. Most people will buy a 4 for $4, and that was literally their intention with creating it. In the fast food community, people called it and still call it the meal killer, the flagship meal killer. You know, you go to McDonald's, they are going to try and sell you a Big Mac meal or a Quarter Pounder meal. You go to Burger King, they're going to sell you a Whopper meal or a Baconator meal, you know. And they're really expensive for fast food. You know, you're going to pay upwards of $6, $7, sometimes $8 for a burger, a drink, and fries. And you could spend that $8 and get arguably a better meal at places that are not fast food restaurants. You know, you might spend $10 and you can get a real, you know, dish at a restaurant and then pay $2 for a drink, right? So Wendy's decided that we can easily, you know, there's a market to corner here, you know, with a $4 meal comes with a burger, comes with a good burger of your choice, a high quality burger. You know, you could get a cheeseburger, a bacon cheeseburger, a double stacked cheeseburger, a crispy chicken BLT, or a grilled chicken. Those were the options that the 4 for $4 had. Those are the options that the 4 for $4 still has. For $4, you get that burger, you get 4 nuggets, you get a small fries, and you get a drink. That, when it came out in 2015, that set the fast food industry and the community around it on fire. Everybody was talking about it. The big two were shaking in their boots trying to come up with some response to this. Wendy's effectively set off a nuclear bomb, okay, when they released this. This is just, I mean, for the time that this came out, this was revolutionary. This was literally like people have stormed the castle gates, they're going inside, and we're just starting to kill everybody we see in there. You know, McDonald's shaking in their boots. Burger King shaking in their boots. They couldn't handle it. They were scrambling to come up with something to compete with the 4 for $4. And it really solidified Wendy's as the number 3 in the market. You actually had a reason to go to Wendy's after this. You know, before this, people would go to Wendy's solely based off personal preference. Now they had a reason to go to Wendy's, okay? And it's been like that. That was in 2015 when that all happened, okay? The market slowly started to restabilize, recover. People slowly became acclimated to the new climate that it had set because it really redefined, it totally reshaped the landscape of the fast food community. It was entirely different. If you look at pre-2015 and post-2015 fast food, they're two entirely different beasts. It's literally a landmark on the timeline of fast food, okay? Fast food restaurants, all fast food restaurants. There have been more restaurants now that have capitalized solely off Wendy's 4 for $4 model. You know, you go to Five Guys, or you go to In-N-Out, or you go to Cookout. Those three have really kind of capitalized on the quick and casual meal. They're not selling a whole big menu with all these different things on it. You go there and you buy just the meal and you can customize what you get in the meal. Wendy's started that. Wendy's is the one who took that idea and ran with it. They didn't invent the wheel, but they did put the wheel on a car instead of a cart. You see what I'm saying? Before Wendy's, these flagship meal killers were totally irrelevant, 100%. Most people hadn't even conceived the thought inside their stupid melon of a head that you can have a fast food meal that costs less than $6. Okay? And now, in 2020, in a post 4 for $4 world, we've seen a lot of other restaurants try to compete with that, and they have all of them have failed, other than those restaurants that have dedicated their menus 100% to that style of business, to that style of sale, of cooking, right? Now we're seeing Wendy's is starting to get a little greedy again. Following that success of the 4 for $4, after the market had restabilized, and after the political landscape within the fast food industry had kind of, you know, acclimated to such a volatile, kind of, you know, really a nuclear bomb in the environment that it was placed in. After everybody had, you know, adjusted to it, Wendy's decided that they need to follow up. You know, they're not going to update it. It's too successful. It's become a cultural icon. You don't touch cultural icons when you have it. In this industry, if you get something good, you never change it ever. And, you know, even something like KFC, which most people will agree the chicken is not the greatest, but they have a bunch of secret herbs and nonsense, and herbs and spices and nonsense, right? And that has been their selling point. They have secret herbs and spices, right? So even though nobody cares about the restaurant anymore, people they cling on to that, and that is literally the only reason people still go there, is to taste that secret combo that only they have. Even though they have competitors like Bojangles or Lee's or Zaxby's or Chick-fil-A that sell arguably better chicken, people will still go there because you can't get their secret recipe. You can't get their staple item anywhere else. So Wendy's isn't going to update the 4 for $4. They're not going to change the 4 for $4. But they feel that it's getting kind of stale. So what do? They release the Biggie bag. So When they released the Biggie Bag in March of 2019, almost a year ago, it was actually a total failure, like most sequels are, right? You release the Biggie Bag. It's $5, and it comes with a burger, a drink, fries, and nuggets. 4 items for $5. Now, at first glance, this seems like an exact, complete copy of the 4 for $4, but more expensive. So, an objectively worse option. And it was. You had some different burgers. You could choose the bacon double stack, which is 2 beef patties instead of 1. Or you could choose, really that was the only difference between the two. You could choose the same items. They were the same, except the 4 for $4 you could not get the bacon double stack. You could get just a bacon cheeseburger. So you pay $1 more than the 4 for $4 meal, and you get 1 extra patty, assuming that you buy the bacon double stack and not a chicken BLT or a cheeseburger or any of the other sandwiches that are available for both meal deals. So, for most people, when this released, it was seen as a laughingstock. Professional eaters would not buy the item. Critics really railed on it, and it was really quite a flop. The 4 for $4, compared to the Biggie Bag, was unbeatable. The Biggie Bag was like the inebriated younger brother of the 4 for $4, that every time the 4 for $4 would go hang out, Wendy's would say, "Son, you have to take your younger brother with you or you can't hang out." And then 4 for $4 would roll its eyes and say, "Mom, I don't want to take the Biggie Bag to the party with me. He's a loser." And then Wendy's would say, "I don't care. He's your brother and you need to love him and take him with you." And so 4 for $4 would say, "Okay, fine, I'll take him with me." When he gets to the party, he leaves Biggie Bag locked in the car for 6 hours. Okay? That's the relationship that the Biggie Bag has had with the 4 for a year. Roughly a year. It's only been out for about a year. And Wendy's knew this. Wendy's knew that the Biggie Bag was a colossal flop for all of us. For us professional eaters, for us food critics, for fast food analysts like myself. And so they sought to change that. Now, what did Wendy's actually change about the Biggie Bag in early May of 2020? Well, I'll tell you. The new Biggie Bag, they removed beef from the equation entirely. You get the chicken sandwich, and you get 10 nuggets. Other than that, there are no changes. You get your small drink, you get your small fries, $5. Now, this was a huge change to the Biggie Bag. This was a big deal, okay? Because before, you were getting the same amount of food in the 4 for $4 and the Biggie Bag. And the only difference was that the Biggie Bag costed $1 more. Now, after this update, the Biggie Bag has over twice as many nuggets, albeit with a smaller sandwich. You're getting double the amount of crispy nuggets. You're getting 10 as opposed to 4. You're actually getting over double the amount of nuggets, and you're still getting one of the original sandwiches that was available in the menu. But you can't change it. The sandwich is always going to be a crispy chicken. You cannot get anything else. So the question is now, is it actually worth it to buy a Biggie Bag if you like chicken, if you like maybe having more food, if you're okay with sacrificing a beef patty, which is one of Wendy's claims to fame before the 4 for $4 came out. All they really had was, "Hey guys, our beef tastes slightly better than our competition. Please buy it." Okay? So, if you're okay with sacrificing Wendy's beef, which is fresh, not frozen, you will get more food for a lower price. This has now become another flagship meal killer. Wendy's now has 2, while its competition has none. They're again punching up. Now, I've actually brought in Cole Kidwell, who is a senior fast food analyst, to interview him on what he thinks the impacts of this new Biggie Bag update will be on the current fast food climate. Here he is, Cole Kidwell. Hello, Cole. Cole, where are you going? Hello? Hello, Cole. Can you hear me? Cole, I can see you. Mr. Kidwell. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Okay. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Mr.
Hi,
Kidwell.
Benjamin.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for having me tonight. I'm excited to discuss the new developments.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. Thank you. I will get right into the questions in that case. Question number 1 I have is, what would you say spurred Wendy's into making such a dramatic change to the Biggie Bag when it seemed as though it was already thriving within the Wendy's environment, even though it was seen as the lesser of the 2 flagship meal killers?
Well, you see, Ben, this really is a big development. The reason they are doing this is all up in smoke. They don't want you to know. The reason. Well, that reason could be a few different things. You see, there was a lot of controversy surrounding the Biggie Bag when it first came out. People thought, why is the Biggie Bag being offered? Because you see, it was an entire $1 more than the 4 for $4 and offered essentially what is the same amount of food. So even though the Biggie Bag was pretty big at the beginning, you start to see a decline in Biggie Bag sales because people were finding out that that's not where the value was. Really, you could get a 4 for $4 and you could get an extra patty on the Dave single and make it a Biggie Bag. And you could get that for a very small amount of money. And this changes the game, because then the value of the Biggie Bag is 0 if you yourself can go through the effort of making that order change to the 4 for $4. So what they're doing here is kind of weird. They're upping the value of the Biggie Bag. This could be because of a decline of sales on the Biggie Bag. That is very, very possible. What is that? It's a moth. Doesn't matter. Okay, so what I think happened is these sales start to go down here in the Biggie Bag, and they've got to get sales up. So what do? Increase the value of the Biggie Bag. It all makes sense.
Okay, very nice. My next question is, what impacts might this have on the current Wendy's menu?
This is going to have some severe impacts on the current menu. You see, if the chicken sandwich is available in such a deal, you see, let me draw this up for you. The chicken sandwich by itself currently costs $4. And the Biggie Bag costs $5. But what the Biggie Bag includes that the chicken sandwich by itself does not is fries, drink, and 4 nuggets. But now, this is even crazier. The Biggie Bag has jumped from 4 nuggets to 10 nuggets, which by itself already cost another $4 on the menu. So you've got to be wondering, why is Wendy's doing this? Why are they offering their menu worth $8 more in food than the value of the sandwich and putting it in a $5 meal? How can they do it? How can they do it? How can they do it? You see, Ben, it's a bit of a mystery, but what this shows you is that the chicken sandwich by itself is now worthless on the menu. Worthless. Absolutely worthless. If you order it, you are very unintelligent.
All right. Now, more specifically, could this be seen as Wendy's trying to phase out the 4 for $4 in favor of a more expensive flagship killer like the Biggie Bag?
Now, actually, I'm glad you asked that, because absolutely they could be trying to phase out the 4 for $4. You see, once people caught on to the whole deal about the Biggie Bag being worthless compared to the 4 for $4, they start buying the 4 for $4, which is less money for the Wendy's Corporation. So, what they are trying to do is provide more value at a higher price. And eventually what they might do is take away some of that value. But right now, they are trying to convert us, trying to change our minds, tweak our minds to where we think it is acceptable. We think it is acceptable to buy the Biggie Bag again. And then once they start taking away the value, we just say, oh, it comes in cycles. You know, this is how the restaurant works. But absolutely, I think they're trying to phase out the 4 for $4. They need more money, as all businesses do.
Now, this could be seen as a fairly aggressive move by Wendy's, who's currently the leader in flagship meal killers. Do you think that other fast food restaurants might try to retaliate with their own flagship meal killers or cheaper meal deals? A lot of people have made the comparison that Wendy's changing the 4 for $4 to, changing the Biggie Bag to the current Biggie Bag is akin to Germany in the 60s once again trying to take over Europe. Would you say that that's accurate? Would you say that other fast food restaurants will band together and retaliate, or retaliate separately?
Oh, Benjamin, absolutely other fast food vendors will retaliate. You saw this with the first 4 for $4. Wendy's releases the 4 for $4. Guess what happens right after Wendy's release 4 for $4? After this, Hardee's releases a $4 meal of their own, and they one up Wendy's by including a cookie. And after this, Burger King got in on the action, and they offered the same meal with cookies, actually at a higher price. Not sure what their strategy was here, but Burger King was on the chase. And as you can see, if the Biggie Bag gets updated, you bet that the other companies will retaliate because they have got to keep up. They can't lose all of their business to Wendy's. I have to get my notes.
Now, I'm going to end the call right now. It's actually very, very impressive what you've said today. We've learned a lot of it. Would you shut up? We've actually learned a lot of great information. Goodbye. Goodbye. And that is actually the end of the news segment for today. We've covered Wendy's 4 for 4. We've covered the Biggie bag. We've covered, with Mr. Kidwell, some of the possible ramifications of this new Biggie bag. My staff and I are 100% dedicated to keeping our viewers as informed as possible on this and any other big news stories in the fast food industry. Okay, I hope that the market can remain somewhat stable throughout this new period that we are 100% about to enter. It will be very big, arguably maybe just as big as the 4 for 4. It definitely won't be bigger, but we could see something similar happen, maybe on a smaller scale. But even if it is on a smaller scale, it could end up being more popular, right? This could be more of a struggle. We could see new fast food icons coming up in the coming months as Burger King, McDonald's, or any other fast food competitors come and attempt to retaliate against Wendy's aggressive actions. Like I said, my team and I, we are dedicated to providing you the most accurate news most of the time, and we will continue to do so until there's no news left to report. Thank you for your time.